Oh man. Oh man, guys. I'm super excited. I'm super excited about this because we might have a beautiful next president of the... What is this place called? We might have a beautiful new president of this place.
Toilets.
So there's this place called Florida in the United States that I lived for a long time of my life there. And a lot of people are saying that they're actually sort of, I wouldn't say excited, but sort of excited about global warming and how the water might cover certain parts of the country, because then Florida might go under there. A lot of people are saying that would actually be a positive. Put that in the positive category of climate change. So they elected this guy governor. What's this guy's name? Ronald DeSantis. And he tops Trump in 2024 presidential straw poll just a couple weeks ago. So I thought maybe we could take a look at this beautiful guy who's normal, pretty sane guy, I would say. So I thought we'd take a look at the next president of the United States. So the first awesome accomplishment I want to look at for this guy. These accomplishments make me go like this. And then I go,
weird.
The first awesome accomplishment is Florida's new social media law will be laughed out of court. This is from Wired, just a month ago, little over a month ago. The Stop Social Media Censorship Act almost certainly violates both the U.S. Constitution and Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. He's all about this guy.
Bye.
He loves this guy.
Flushing toilets.
Everything's about, how cool that guy is. So he coughed up this ridiculous excuse for a law that if one of these social media companies blocks or bans a political figure, if passed into law, the bill would allow Florida to fine companies $250,000 a day, and private citizens could seek damages of $100,000. So in other words, it's like Twitter banned Trump or whatever. Now we're gonna do this. So he's throwing a treat out to people who he thinks are morons. This guy's a Harvard and Yale guy. Thinks everybody's an idiot, so he throws these treats that he knows are not going to work, which this has already been struck down in a federal court. I'll read you some of the quotes from this Wired article. The law looks like a political freebie. Frumkin, they interviewed a bunch of legal experts about this. You get to pander and nothing bad happens because there's no chance this will survive in court. This is the same guy. This is so obviously unconstitutional, you wouldn't even put it on an exam. Miami University of Law professor A. Michael Frumkin told Wired. We need to ask ourselves,
Why?
Is this law so obviously not going to work? It's pretty simple to understand. These are considered private companies, these social media platforms. So if you, and this is how he knew that this was going to fail, since they're considered private companies, you can't force editorial decisions on them because that would be an infringement on free speech, First Amendment.
Political views.
And those aren't just my
Political views.
The other, of course, super funny thing about this is that these guys are all like they're like free market libertarians. Except if somebody special to us gets a bad no-no and get in bad trouble, then we're going to have the government, or we're going to pretend, because of course this is a Harvard fancy pants. Of course he knew this wasn't going to happen because he thinks all his constituents are morons. We're going to pretend to do a thing that clearly goes against our basic belief that the market will figure it out. So, I mean, of course, this guy's like a cynical politician cretin. And there's worse stories, as we'll see. What's even kind of weirder, obviously, is that this stuff moves the needle. Somebody's like so worked up. Where am I going to get my material from? If whoever, Tim Pool, can't do a go on Twitter, if Candace Owens can't have her beautiful message heard, how am I going to make people in my home and at my work feel uncomfortable? I mean, what makes me go about this is that there are things that need to be done with these social media things, these social media, not YouTube though. No, YouTube is a very good. It is a problem that could be solved, and mostly people on the quote unquote left talk about this. Even Sammy Cedar has talked about this, that maybe these social media platforms should be made public and so on, etc. That would be a real solution. I'm not defending any of the social media stuff. What I'm saying here is that this is fake. That this guy's a phony baloney. He's doing this in his pants. It's kind of interesting. They even hinted at this in the court order. The legislation now at issue was an effort to rein in social media providers deemed too large and too liberal. Balancing the exchange of ideas among private speakers is not a legitimate government interest, the injunction added. So they're kind of hinting. They're like, look, these are private things. We can't... What you're trying to do here, Chowderhead, makes no sense. So take those pants and get out of here. So this is kind of the same thing that goes on with like all of these politicians. Biden definitely is kind of like, it seems like just kind of pretending to do things and not really doing anything. It's sort of like maybe like most people at most jobs. How can I appear to be doing things, but I'm not? The other big problemo that we really got to focus on is these college campuses. These college campuses are out of control. This is a new thing that's never has ever been anybody talked about this the last 50 years. This really is a brand new thing. Right-wingers weren't all foamed up about student activists the past, 60, 70 years. So this is really catering to a very valuable group of people, in a lot of them in Florida, which is why we really got to protect Florida, make sure it doesn't go underwater, is sort of like red-faced people who their biggest concern is those college. This is my absolute biggest concern, and I'm thrown into an absolute, I would say, crib-ruining diaper meltdown. So this guy, what's this bonehead's name? Ron DeSantis. So this guy comes up with this absolutely, I would say literally incoherent law. Here, I'll read it. The Board of Governors shall require each state university to conduct an annual assessment of the intellectual freedom and viewpoint diversity at that institution. The Board of Governors shall select or create an objective, nonpartisan, and statistically valid survey to be used by each state university, which considers the extent to which competing ideas and perspectives are presented, and members of the university community, including students, express their beliefs and viewpoints on campus. This is reporting on it from a local paper. I think this is from an Orlando paper. The measure will go into effect July 1st, does not specify what will be done with the survey results. But DeSantis and the senator who sponsored it suggest on Tuesday that budget cuts could be looming if university and colleges are found to be, quote, indoctrinating, unquote, students. In other words, this is absolutely useless nonsense. So these right-wingers, they think college is left and it's left-wing and woke. How this manifests in actual Ron DeSantis constituents' lives, I think probably is something like they saw a YouTube video about this. I'm pissed. I'm at my dealership job and they're just, their faces turning red. You can see the pants start to inflate with the doo-doo. And they're getting so pissed off, and this is what motivates them. They watch the video and you just hear this. I really would, if I had to put money, I would guess that a lot of this is YouTube-based anger at colleges. So they think college is left and woke because they're not teaching them that the Native Americans were asked to be murdered, I guess. So they're going to do a survey to I guess, people in college and who work in colleges to see if people feel like they can express themselves, but then they're going to pull funding out of colleges, state colleges, if someone, it decides if it's not free. Yeah, this sounds good, buddy. Harvard and Yale. Harvard and Yale. This is what we get. This is what we get from you for going there, huh?
What?
Is this going to carry over to like employers? Hey, I don't feel like I can express myself. You know, what about when you leave college? I don't feel like I can express my political views. Oh, no, you can shut the hell up. No, it doesn't make any sense because it's nonsense. Because he thinks his constituents and the people of Florida are absolute morons. That's all this is. It's basically like, here morons, here's a treat. I'm Ron DeSantis. I went to Harvard and Yale, and you're idiots. And I think you're stupid. You Florida morons, you. Do this in your pants. Because the people of this state that I live in and, crept my way up to governor in, you're all idiots. Look, we know what you guys want to spend your time doing this. That might be the most offensive drop on this thing. You know what I mean? It keeps getting funnier and funnier with this guy. I mean, he really is like a real character. A real firecracker, this guy. So what was it, like a year ago, Florida passed a $15 minimum wage. Trumpland passed $15 minimum wage. Socialist, Marxist. These Marx and Engels out there in Florida passed a $15 minimum wage. Of course, Governor Ron DeSantis urges Floridians to shoot down $15 minimum wage amendment. Now is not the time. Now is not the. Oh no! Oh man, I would love to. I would love for people to have enough money to eat and live. Oh, man. Look, dude, come on. And it's not. It's just we can't. Oh man, it's not the time. It's not. What time is it? Can't. Oh man. So he kind of differs with his again the people of Florida who he thinks are all morons. I went to the prestigious Harvard and Yale, and now what do? I make up phony baloney bills to trick idiots. And of course, I mean, this is an obvious, easy one. He's done a bunch of voter suppression crap. Last week, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a blah, blah, blah into law forcing former felons to pay, quote, all restitutions, fines, fees, or blah, 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 outstanding crap before having their rights to vote recognized. This move is a direct assault on Amendment 4, which a large majority of Floridians approved last November. Interesting. Seems like this guy's staying around due to a lot of trickery. But he also said there's a quote where he actually said, voting is a privilege. Pretty sure it's a right, dude. Pretty sure it's a right. And it goes on and on with this kook. But probably the most disturbing one and the one that's starting to look worse and worse is the Rebecca Jones story. I don't know if you guys remember this, but here's the basic story on this. Is this woman, Rebecca Jones, set up a kind of a portal for people in Florida to see statistics, COVID statistics. She set it up. She was like heralded a hero for setting this thing up. They were like, wow, look, she set this up. She kept working for the health department. And she started to kind of like blow the whistle because it looked like there was a push to open. Because, of course, this guy really wanted to open up the state. And there was this push to kind of like manipulate, according to Rebecca Jones, who's, she's a scientist and all this crap. And she started blowing the whistle that they were pushing to open, and they were pushing to kind of like juice these numbers, make these numbers look like they were better than they were so that they could open. And his thing about opening could be fine and that maybe the numbers are still being manipulated. So she kind of blew the whistle on this. And around the time that they were trying to open up, her house gets raided. And if you read this, I'll put a link to this. I think you have to put in your email, but it's the Miami Herald. And what makes this even weirder is that she was basically having like covert secret communication with one of this bonehead's top aides who seemed to be on her side on this whole thing. And now she's a legally protected whistleblower in Florida. So this dude And I mean, this story really is pretty crazy. So yeah, really excited about this cool next president. Seems like a cool guy. Totally normal dude. Harvard and Yale's finest. Bye. A real genius, and really, Florida, guys, people are giving Florida a really hard time with all that stuff about that they good riddance and that it should be covered up by water because it's filled with a lot of this. They say that it's a dump, that if it breaks off floats out into the ocean, then not a lot lost there. So, my dear president, I salute you. I'm joining the military right now because I want to defend this next president. I'm actually going to join the Secret Service because I want to jump in front of this guy, for this honorable man right here. I would take a bullet for this man right here because he's clearly shooting straight. So there you go. The absolute weirdness of living in Cookville, USA. Bye-bye. And always remember,
Disgusting.
Bye-bye, and never forget,
It is disgusting.
Thank you. You know how all those old-timey news guys will be like, it's me with the news. Goodbye, and good luck. Like they would have their little sign-offs. Mine is,
It is disgusting.
thank you. Goodbye, and don't forget the cool taste of cigarettes, which are good to smoke inside the house on your couch. The smell will be fine. Hey everybody, and thanks so much for watching this video. Like all the other YouTube and podcast perverts, I now have a Patreon. Every week on this Patreon, I'm uploading 2
exclusive
Patreon exclusive shows. They're like real shows, more produced, more edited.
a behind-the-scenes show where I reveal all my secrets, and a show where we go deep on an important topic that you will want to know about. Also, you get the daily and complete live show audio-only feeds. And at the top level, for only 25 bones, you can become a producer. These people that you're seeing right here make this program possible. Without them, nothing. It goes right in the toilet, right in the trash, and we set it on fire. It's these people who make it work. So please, for Christ's sake, become a patron. Bye-bye, love you.